Hello and welcome! We're just a ways from Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and the big man is working really hard. But I figured let's check up on him anyways. We are going to talk about one of the most important Christmas Disney films that have been made, with the Santa Claus! The Santa Claus was released in 1994. It stars Tim Allen, Eric Lloyd, David Krumholtz, who was a lot of people's first sexual awakening when it comes to elves, because he's beautiful.
I got something for you. Okay, now hold out your hand, all right? Now, be very careful. This is very old, just like me.
And Peter Boyle. It's a very unique film in terms of concept, but also is still very magical and it still holds up today. Your main concept, if you're not familiar with this wonderful movie, is that Scott Calvin is a struggling father. He got divorced from his wife and they share custody with his son, but he doesn't know how to be a good dad anymore by himself. He does work at a toy company and he's a businessman, so the business comes first over anyone else. And he ends up getting his son for Christmas Eve.
Charlie, it's just the wind or something. Come on, let's go back to bed. Somebody's on the roof.
Maybe it's Santa.
Not now, Charlie. I want you to sit here, and I want you to stay right there.
In the middle of the night, when everyone's sleeping, Santa comes up on the roof and they hear the noise, so Scott goes out to find out what happens, accidentally caught Santa off guard and making Santa fall off the roof and dying.
Hey, you! What's that? Whoa, whoa!
Now Scott has to take over as Santa Claus, and he becomes Santa Claus without him realizing that he's becoming Santa Claus. And that's the entire plot line of it. It's just really, really cool, and it has a lot of connections to family. He becomes a better person this way. It's a redemption story. It's very classic 90s nostalgia, but it works really well, and it is a modern classic. This was released by Walt Disney Pictures and Hollywood Pictures, so it was the two companies together. We've talked about a couple films that were just under Hollywood Pictures by itself, but this was in association with the two companies together. And I think that also does help because there was a little bit more of an edgy feel to it, especially in the beginning of the movie. It's still a great family film, it really is, and it's great for everyone in the entire family, but you do have a lot of the jokes that do go over a lot of kids' heads, and they are for adults, so it's a good humor for everyone. It's really interesting too because I did learn when I was looking up trivia that there was, in the early version of the movie, he made a sarcastic remark saying, call 1-800-SPANK-ME.
Neil's mom's number in case.
1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number.
And a Merry Christmas to you too.
Well, apparently kids started to know about this and they were curious, so they started dialing 1-800-SPANK-ME, and all these parents ended up complaining because it did go into a full-on sex line. So Disney bought the number for it and they removed that line from various copies of the DVDs and showings. So my movie that I own, it doesn't have it on there. But I was curious. So I figured, let me call this number because I have no idea what's gonna happen. I have the number on the phone. And I have it on speaker to see if it comes up for anything.
Hey, baby. I love to party.
Oh, I could have gone out. So we know that Disney doesn't own the number anymore. According to IMDb, the fact reads as states, on older releases of this film, Tim Allen made a sarcastic remark in the movie which included the line 1-800-SPANK-ME. During the film's release, a woman from near Cleveland, Ohio, called the supposedly fictional number for curious grandchildren. Well, first of all, why would you do that for your grandchildren? How old are they? And the fact that you're calling 1-800-SPANK-ME, what are you gonna think it's gonna be? it turned out to be a phone sex line. However, it wasn't until 1997 when Disney received complaints from parents whose children called the number and ranked up huge phone bills. Then the studio took action and cut the line from further releases. Disney also said that they would purchase a phone number to disconnect the service. Well, clearly that's not disconnected, as we just heard. Another interesting note is that the role of Scott Calvin / Santa Claus was written specifically with Bill Murray in mind, but Bill Murray didn't think it fit his type of humor and he ended up declining it.
I am the king of Christmas.
And it went down through a line of other people until Tim Allen eventually got it, and it was Tim Allen's first lead role in a film. Before that, he was best known for Home Improvement, and now he's a mega superstar that we know today and has been on so many things, including the voice of Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story, which is one of his best roles. So he's a Disney legend now for sure. I honestly still really love this movie. It is a timeless modern classic, and I really do love the techniques they used and the different ways they created the North Pole. The scenery is fantastic, the elves are adorable, and I love that they use kids as elves.
You're missing the point.
What is the point?
Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. Kids don't have to see this place to know that it's here. They just know.
Because I was really young during that time, but I was in the 90s, so I could relate to everyone, and I still look back and I'm just like, I was the same age you guys were, so everyone's old now. And it really does keep the magic in it. That is the one thing I do love about it the most. A couple of the other Christmas movies that we talked about did try to keep the magic in there, but didn't really have that. But this has a really great balance between edgy humor and wholesome magic, and it's really well done, and it's such a creative film, and obviously something that you have to keep on your list to watch every single year, because that's me. This film is as good as Elf is, and both of them are favorites of mine that I have to watch at least once a year. Tomorrow we're going to continue on with the Santa Claus 2, so you can stay tuned for that, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.